Hey everyone, and welcome back. So we're checking out Deathnote. We're continuing that journey, and this is going to be episode number 5. Tactics. Oh, the armed robber from the bus got struck, didn't he?
You there.
Yeah?
Listen carefully. I came to Japan as part of a secret investigation, so the local police can't find out that I
understand. I promise I won't tell anyone that I met you, and of course, that includes my father.
Wait, hold on. Does he need to mention that? Does he need to mention his father? I'm trying to think back to the last episode now. I don't think that was ever discussed, was it? That Ray knew who Light's father was. And why would Light... I mean, Light obviously knows that Ray knows who his father is because he knows that Ray is investigating him. But why would he specifically mention his father not finding out? I'm confused. Why is this? It seems odd. Why would Light want to make any unnecessary links between him and the police? I must have missed something, right? Let me know.
It's just as I thought. Anyway, I don't want the police to know that I've come into contact with an FBI agent either. If my father ever found out, there's no doubt he'd let Elle know. It's obvious that he doesn't suspect me. And as for the police, I'm sure they'll treat this as just another unfortunate accident.
Hey, welcome back. Ray, what's the matter? Something happened, didn't it? I've never heard you sigh like that.
Yeah. The bus I was on got hijacked, if you can believe it.
So you were already riding the bus when the hijacker got on?
Yeah. And in the end, the guy freaked out, jumped off the bus, and got hit by a car.
Did he die?
Yeah, probably.
You know, it's a little hard to believe that was all a coincidence, don't you think? Think about it. You got on that bus because you were investigating someone, right? And now you're telling me that this criminal is most likely dead. Doesn't that suggest that you...
That's enough. Look, darling, you and I know you used to be one of the best agents in the FBI. But now you're my fiancée, Naomi. We talked about this. You're not an agent anymore, so just leave it alone. You wouldn't get involved with the Kira case, and you wouldn't do anything dangerous. That's what you promised when we decided you'd come with me so I could meet your parents in Japan. You do remember that, don't you?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Oh, is he worried about her because he doesn't want her to get too close to this because he knows of the risks? Does he know what they're really investigating? Well, he must do because he said the Kira case. I wasn't sure then, just my mind was just thinking about whether he just thought he was investigating a potential mole, but he seems to know the whole story, and I guess he doesn't want her to get close because of the risk involved. But it sounds like she is a pretty good detective of her own.
Anyway, once we have a few kids running around, you'll probably be so busy you'll forget you were ever an agent. Your mind will be occupied with better things, too. More importantly, tell me how I can convince your dad I'm worthy of his daughter. Kira doesn't scare me half as much as he does.
Hold on. Let me just watch some of that again.
Look, darling, you and I know you used to be one of the best agents in the FBI. But now you're my fiancée, Naomi. We talked about this.
So is it about risk, actually? Or is it just the fact that you were a really good agent in the FBI? Now you're my fiancée. So you can't do that anymore. You're here to... He says something in a bit, doesn't he, about becoming a mother. Well, she'll be so busy that she won't want to think about investigations in the FBI. What? All of those things aren't mutually exclusive, are they?
Oh, let me guess. You're about to write down the name of that agent, aren't you? The one...
I'm gonna wait 1 week before writing his name. If he dies right after meeting me, I'll only draw attention to myself.
Good thinking.
I'll write his name in here once I've given them time to investigate more people with ties to the police. It'll be less obvious that way. In the meantime, I think I'll use some of those inmates I've been keeping alive to play around with Elle a little more.
Hell.
To play around with Elle, it feels like it's getting quite personal now, doesn't it? Kind of moving him away from his actual mission into kind of playing this game. That feels risky when you've got a focus.
Another victim.
Gods of death.
Gods of death, gods plural.
Is he trying to tell us that gods of death exist?
Okay.
Listen, Watari. Tell the police to monitor prison populations closely for the next few days. Kira may use other notes to communicate with us.
Understood.
I mean, I've heard of secret messages being communicated through, I don't know, crossword puzzles and draft emails and drop boxes, but I've never heard of one via prisoners ending themselves or prisoner ending themselves notes. Yes, I'm avoiding the S word because of the stupid algorithm. Although I hope that now it didn't hear me say stupid algorithm and punishes me for that. But just taking people out, I mean, I guess they kind of fit his criteria anyway. But using them to send messages?
Are you gonna do it here?
Let's just say you're about to see the results of all the research and experiments I've been doing over the last few days.
Experiments?
For example, if I write a cause of death and the circumstances leading up to it, I can add a name afterwards and it'll still happen.
Ooh, even I didn't know that one.
He's here. Mr. Raye Penber. I am Kira.
It couldn't be. This voice. I've heard
I
it
was going
somewhere.
to say, I thought he'd recognize the voice.
Do you see the man working over there at the coffee shop? That's right, the one sweeping the floor.
Don't do it.
I'm afraid I had no choice. I figured if I didn't kill at least one person, you wouldn't believe me. Although that man has been repeatedly charged with sexual assault, he's managed to avoid conviction every time due to lack of evidence. He was a menace to society. He got what he deserved.
When did you do the research into that?
I believe you. You're Kira.
I mean, I just want to touch on this before it gets too far away from it, but is no one going to help that guy having a heart attack? We're just all going to stand around and watch him?
Don't do it. I believe you. You're
They're
Kira.
still watching there, look.
I'm sure you care more about your loved ones than any of these people here. Imagine how you'd feel if one of them was killed just because you refused to cooperate.
How do you know about her?
You seem surprised. I've been investigating you.
I understand. Just tell me what you need me to do.
I want the files containing the identities of all the FBI agents who came to Japan.
But I don't have the files you're looking for.
All right, then take this envelope. First, take the transceiver out of the envelope, then put the earpiece in and await my instructions.
A transceiver, but there'll be no record of this transmission anywhere. And it allows us to converse from a
Very
close distance.
clever.
You really thought this through.
All right, now get on the Yamanote line. I'll be close by at all times, which means I'll be watching your every move. When you get on the train, pick a spot in front of you and don't take your eyes off it.
Where's he going with this?
Now, I'm going to ask you something. How many FBI agents are currently in Japan?
I believe it's 4 teams, 3 agents per team for a total of 12.
Okay, now take the papers out of the envelope.
What is this?
Of those 12 agents you mentioned, I want you to write down the name of your superior, the one who's heading up this investigation, in the space at the very top of the page.
What is the meaning of this? What is he after? Let's face it, he hasn't really left me any choice. Besides, it's not like he can kill them using just their names.
I was going to say, is he just trying to get the names at this time?
Any minute now, your boss is going to send you a message with a file attachment. It contains the names and photos of all the FBI agents currently active in Japan.
Why would his boss just send him that now?
Now, one by one, you're going to look at each photo and then write that agent's name in the space provided. You're going to do this for each agent.
It doesn't make sense. If he's got the names already, why use me? What's he planning to do with them?
Good. Looks like you're done. Now put the transceiver and all the papers back into the original envelope and place them on the rack directly above.
Let me watch this again. I'm getting a bit confused here.
Looks like you're done. Now put the transceiver and all the papers back into the original envelope and place them on the rack directly above your head. After that, you're going to stay in your seat and ride the train for at least another 30 minutes. When you are absolutely certain that nobody will notice you leaving without the envelope, you can get off the train.
So he's got a list of names in the envelope.
I know that voice. Why on earth can't I remember who it belongs to? Kira, who are you? Like Yagami.
He remembers him now.
Farewell, Raye Penber.
So what I've learned from this is that Japan seems to be the worst place ever if you're going to have a heart attack, because absolutely no one will come to your aid at all. Or in fact, it doesn't even have to be a heart attack, I guess. It has any kind of illness that befalls you. No one's coming to help. Or even calling an ambulance by the look of it. So what's happened here? So Light has got the list of the names of all the FBI agents. I don't really get how he knew the supervisor was going to send him the email with the badges and the IDs, and then he's taken out Raye Penber and he's got the file back, hasn't he?
Raye Penber wrote all of those names on pages taken from the Deathnote. Ironic. As for Penber's boss, he died of a heart attack after sending all of his agents a file. And the other 11 investigators? They all died of heart attacks after receiving the same file.
That's so clever. And because Ray knew the names, what they looked like, I'm guessing, because obviously he needed to have seen their faces as well, then it worked. And I'm guessing the boss, the supervisor, had sent the email because that had been written in as well. Because we know that people can write things that they really know. Yeah, that makes sense, I think. I mean, what sense is Elle going to make of this, of the entire FBI team being wiped out in one go, especially when Light was one of the people that was being investigated at the time. So I know Light had waited long enough for the investigation to move on to other people. But it doesn't feel like it's been that long, and it still feels rather risky. You know, Ray was about to close the investigation. Why not just let him move on? Well, he knew he was going to close the investigation because Light purposely let him move on to investigate someone else before he took him out. Why didn't he just let him move on to someone else? Or did they think eventually they would circle back round to it? Feels like a risky move. Did this need to happen? I'm not sure. Oh, Ray. He's just doing his job, wasn't he? Light's clever, though. Maybe a bit risky, but he's very, very clever.
Elle, you have a call from the director of the FBI.
I've got a report in front of me right now stating that
All of our agents in Japan are dead.
all 12 died of heart attacks. I can only assume that Kira is behind this. It's already decided. We're calling off our investigation.
Okay. I guess that's good for Light.
Yagami on the line.
I just got off the phone with the director of the FBI. According to him, it seems that you arranged for the FBI to come to Japan and investigate everyone here associated with the task force.
Oh, he sounds pissed.
I felt that it was necessary to uncover Kira's identity.
I cannot accept that. I find it unbelievable that you would spy on us.
Hear that? Well, I knew all along we couldn't trust that guy. It's obvious he'll kill anyone who gets in his way, whether they're criminals or not.
We have another victim. A note was found at the scene.
Elle, do you know gods of death
That's what we had before.
love apples?
Do you know the gods of death love
Damn
apples?
you, Kira.
What sense is Elle going to make of that?
He's dead.
Well, I guess it's lucky that she's some super duper investigator who can now step in and investigate without any formal authority. Sounds like Light's got someone else now potentially chasing after him.
So what's with the family meeting, Dad?
I don't want you to be alarmed. I'm sure you've heard of this Kira investigation. Well, I'm currently in charge of it.
What? Are you serious? That's totally awesome, Dad. You're the best cop ever.
What I'm saying is there's a chance that Kira will actually try to kill anyone who comes after him. His crimes are ruthless and more frightening than anything we've seen. Many detectives have already quit.
Dad, you should quit too. What if he gets you?
That's right. Your life is so much more important than some job.
I can't. I could never forgive myself if I walked away from this. I will not sit back and let evil triumph.
Let evil triumph or protect your family? What would you do? He's got a very strong sense of justice, I guess. Is that the best word for this? But it's more important than the welfare of his family or the risk to his family. I mean, we can all have different values in different domains. So generally, we could split values up into something like work, relationships, family, kind of hobbies and interests, religion, spirituality, something like that. There's a few domains. And then we try to do some value-driven behavior in each area. But it feels like that potentially he would have a bit of a values clash here between justice in his work and doing the right thing, but also protecting his family. And at some point, from a decision-making perspective, from a behavioral perspective, you have to decide what you're going to do. But I guess then, I mean, is his family at risk? He's more at risk, isn't he? And I guess his family are at risk of losing him. I wonder if that's different to if his family themselves were actually at risk, what he would do then. Because usually in films and TV shows, that's a really big motivating factor, isn't it? Is when someone's family is threatened. Interesting take.
I think it's honorable of you, Dad. I'm proud to be able to call you my father. And if anything should ever happen to you, I'm going to find Kira and make sure he gets executed.
We now know that Kira doesn't just target criminals. He'll kill anyone who opposes him. Think of your own lives, your families, and all the others you'll be leaving behind. If anyone wants to leave this investigation, now is the time. You won't be demoted if you choose not to stay. You have my word. But if you're not absolutely sure, then we don't need you. You have to be willing to fight against him, even if that means making the ultimate sacrifice. That is all.
Oh yeah, that's him all right. There's no doubt about it. I remember him because he told us to get down. But I don't really remember any of the other passengers.
Well, thanks for talking with me anyway.
She's on the case already.
It's a bit of a long shot, but if what I'm thinking is right, Kira could have been one of the passengers on the bus that day. And if that is the case, then I know that he's close enough to use this bus route.
She's closing in already. Is that it?
5 men, huh? Well, 6, including myself.
The fact that you've chosen to stay means you have a strong sense of justice. I trust all of you.
Huh? El just said that he's decided to trust us now. But honestly, what reason do we have to trust him?
Look, El. All of us have agreed to put our lives at risk to bring Kira to justice.
But you never have to show your face, do you? You just give the orders.
El, if all of us are going to work together on this investigation, and if you truly meant what you said about trusting the 6 of us, could you come here so we can all meet in person?
Oh, it doesn't even trust that the room isn't bugged, I'm guessing. It's just communicating through text.
Why is he seeking our help now? There's only 6 of us. He's solved all these difficult cases by himself in the past, so what makes this one so different? The way El's been conducting things so far, odds are he's gonna send a stand-in or a proxy of some kind to meet us instead of coming himself.
Well, it is possible.
I believe El. I think we can trust him. And besides, I don't really see how we can solve this case without his help.
From the beginning, he's been very upfront about the fact that he would need the help of the police on this case. Perhaps we should think of it like He's been waiting for this to happen all along. There were a number of people on the task force who distrusted Elle before this investigation began. And once we got started, we had detectives resigning left and right. Following that, classified information was leaked. So I'm not surprised that he didn't trust us.
In other words, he was waiting for the task force to get narrowed down to only those investigators he could trust. And to do that, he needed to weed out anyone who wasn't totally committed.
If we're working with that guy, I'm leaving the task force. I'm not interested in finding Elle.
Well, I think we can trust Elle, so I'd be willing to cooperate with him on this investigation.
Count me in.
Like, is that what Elle was really doing? That's what he was waiting for. He knew that loads of the police would resign from the case for protection, and he was waiting for the team to get smaller so he wouldn't have to show his face to more people than necessary. I mean, I guess he didn't factor in that Light would take out all the FBI agents, but I'm guessing that over time, Elle thought that more and more people would resign from the case just because of personal risk. Anyway, without the FBI agents being taken out. I mean, that's some pretty good foresight, isn't it? I mean, I guess it's to be expected, but to actually plan it in.
Meet at the Tato Hotel at the moment. I want you to think of these hotel rooms as the de facto headquarters of this investigation. Please arrange it so you're all here at midnight.
Kira, it seems we're getting closer to each other in equal steps. It's only a matter of time before we collide.
That's an interesting phrase. The subtitle was slightly different to the English language there.
It seems we're getting closer to each other in equal steps.
So he says we're getting closer to each other in equal steps. And in the subtitle it says we're even how far we close the distance. So does that mean that Light Elle sees them as equally intelligent? Gosh, I can't get that sentence out at all. Does Elle see them as equally as intelligent? Elle obviously knows how intelligent he is himself because he solved all of those unsolvable cases for the police. And is he now saying, actually, Light here is my equal? He is equally as intelligent as me. I wonder if he's ever said that about someone before or met someone, like met his match. That's the phrase I was trying to find. I might have got my L's and my Lights mixed up in that part then. I really muddled that up, but I think you know what I mean.
It's only a matter of time before we collide. So be it. I'm ready to show my face. I'll make my first public appearance as Elle. If you ever managed to find out about these secret meetings, I'm sure you'd feel compelled to move in. That's what I'm counting on.
So he wants him to find out about them.
Quite active over these last few days. Think carefully. Was there anything I missed? And what comes next? There are endless possibilities. The real battle is only just beginning. Elle.
All right, cool. So we're left with what? No FBI? I'm not sure if that means no one suspects Light at this time, or whether Elle will take an interest who was being investigated when, the FBI were taken out. I mean, I wonder how many, what do they have, like 12 people? So maybe they were investigating the same people for a relatively same amount of time. So maybe there was, I don't know, like 12 to 20 people being investigated. So that gets that shortlist even shorter, doesn't it? I mean, the police have now shrunk to a team of 6. They're going to go and meet Elle in person, and I'm guessing they're going to try to come up with a plan to catch him. But it sounds like in that last bit that Elle was saying that he was counting on Light finding out about these meetings, which again puts those police at risk who have put their faith in Elle to at least offer some reasonable protection, I guess, in terms of the plan. It sounds like it's putting them more at risk. I wonder if we've talked a lot, well, not a lot, but vaguely started mentioning things like personality disorders, personality traits. I think it was episode 3, right at the beginning. And I'm kind of holding off still a little bit. I think I might drop some of that in over the next couple of episodes. But it'd be interesting to think of this, think of L in the same way. And his sense of values and what he's getting out of this. Because there's a function here for him. There's a function for him to continue this. Is it just a case of catching light? I mean, I'm kind of thinking it is at the moment. That's the function of his behavior. But I think I'd be interested to think about at what cost. How far is he willing to go to catch light? And is it a case of catching light because he's taken out criminals and taken out, trying to get all the evil out of the world? Does El care about that side of it? Or does he care more about, oh, I've met an equal here. This is a good game between us. I want to win. It's about winning the game. I like it. There's a lot of things to consider here. But yeah, let's just leave that there. I'm going to try to double up on this episode. So see what happens in the next one. I wonder if I need to have a look to see whether there's a natural break in the series in the same way that Arcane had arcs or acts, where I can sit and kind of take stock of what I think of what's going on with each person. Because I keep saying to myself, oh, just get a little bit more information, then I can have a proper think about it. But I don't want the episodes to I don't want to get carried away with it. We're just forever saying just one more episode. Right, let's leave it there. Thank you for watching. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.